Now, something that some of you might not know about me is that I grew up in a very, very Christian household. I went to church every Sunday morning, every Sunday night, every Wednesday night, prayed before every meal. I would even pray before I used my inhaler. So as a child, I also wasn't allowed to listen to most secular music. Actually, I wasn't allowed to listen to any secular music. I actually specifically remember one time when my mom caught me listening to a Selena Gomez song and she screamed at me for hours and hours because that was the worst thing a man could do. And also, as a child, I wasn't allowed to watch most films. So when it came to movies, we ended up watching either a lot of animated movies or Christian films. I mean, using the word film in that sense is really a disservice. It's really a mockery on film itself, because if you've ever watched a Christian movie, you know that they are just batshit weird. If you didn't grow up watching those, then I envy you. But today I want to at least share a little bit of my childhood with you. The movie we're going to be watching today isn't a movie that I've ever seen before. This is a movie that I recently stumbled across that came out in 2021 actually. So remember that going forward, that this just came out 1 year ago. And it's quite the movie. Now, granted, let's give credit where credit's due. This is actually the first film made by Steadfast Pictures, the company that made this movie, but it still follows all the same beats and the religious aspects that most Christian films follow. But listen to me rambling on. Why don't we just jump right into this? So the film opens with our main character, Cameron, mourning the loss of his father. And I feel so bad for their dad, because if you look around, everybody else has a really nice gravestone. Meanwhile, he just has like this little block of wood. Like it's just this little block of wood that looks like they just wrote in a marker, Stephen J. Taylor, and they just like threw it on the ground somewhere. So then we cut to Cameron and his best friend Bryson having a little witty banter at the table.
I'm a little surprised you shut up at all.
Well, a promise is a promise. I just didn't promise to be here early.
And they're planning on doing something in the shed.
Well, I was thinking maybe we could use that shed in the woods around the corner.
Sounds great to me.
What is this something, you may ask? We don't know yet. But we know that it must be top secret because his little sister Katie comes down and he's a little nervous.
Say, what you working on?
A project. Katie, we'll see you later, okay?
I too put my shoes on after I walk outside the house.
Kids, time to eat. Anna, Drew, put your things away, please.
But Mom, I'm right in the middle of texting Allison.
Yeah, Mom. Can't you just wait? I'm texting Allison right now. Can't you see? Classic Christian depiction of teenagers. They're always on those dang phones of theirs. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go watch Fox News for 8 hours.
Noodles? Again, Mom?
Cam, I'm doing the best that I can right now.
Okay, so they can afford that house. Look at that house. That's way bigger than any house I've ever been in my entire life. That's a nice ass house, but she can only afford to make plain ramen noodles for them. And this isn't even the first time that she's done it. This has been going on. Mom, what are you doing?
How'd your project go today, Cam?
Project? What project?
Probably making rocket fuel out of beanstalks or something.
Actually, there's a present study underway in Norway where scientists are experimenting with ideology to use plant matter to prevent...
That's nice, Einstein. That's not what we're doing. Look, me and Bryson, we're just having fun with this project. And it's not illegal, and let's just leave it at that.
You know, if I ask someone what they're doing and their immediate response to me is, it's not illegal, don't worry about it, I'm pretty sure my first thought would be that they're lying to me, because that's the most random way to respond. You couldn't have come up with a lie? You couldn't have come up with something?
I know you're 16, but you have no right to speak to me or your brother that way.
Awkward. So she doesn't even press him on the matter after that. Like after he says that, she's just like, don't talk to me that way, and she just leaves it. Like don't you think you would think, hey, maybe I should look into this, you know? He was so defensive about how this wasn't illegal and how he didn't want to tell anyone. Maybe I should look into this little project that my 16-year-old son is doing. You know, what's he doing out there? Is he fucking making heroin? Like but no, she just leaves it. It's fine. Just go back to eating your ramen noodles. So next we open on the scene with Cameron and Bryson working on their little project. And here, just take a guess. Take a guess at what you think the project is. Well, if you said A, you'd be correct. That's right, these boys are making fireworks. So don't go walking around telling people about this, because this is like some top secret shiz. Like out of all the things you could be doing at 16, this is the project that you're hiding from everybody. This is your top secret illegal activity. I mean, good on you for not like, you know, doing something actually harmful, but like, okay. So they're working on the fireworks, and Cameron realizes that he forgot the fire extinguisher. So he decides to go back to his garage to grab it and leave Bryson there alone to, you know, do his little crafting. Do his little firework crafting. You know, I might not be an expert on this. I've never made fireworks before in my life, and I don't ever plan on doing it. But to me, that looks like dynamite. Any picture I've ever seen of dynamite, that's what it looks like. I've never seen a firework that looks like that. Zoinks? Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Bryson!
Dude, you had the fire extinguisher in your hand. You're holding a fire extinguisher, the one thing to put out a fire. And then you see an explosion happening, and you drop and leave the one thing that could help you.
Cameron, help me.
So Cameron tries to help his friend Bryson, but he can't make it in. Anytime he tries, explosions everywhere.
I can't!
There he goes. I guess I take it back when I said fireworks weren't really that dangerous. I guess maybe it would have been better if they were doing heroin. Also, can we go back there for a second though? How did that even catch on fire? I don't remember there being a flame. So all he did was drop it, and it immediately burst into flames. If I'm not mistaken, I believe you need to have a flame. Let's look this up right now.
Will a firework set off without a flame?
In essence, the only way a firework can go off is if the fuse comes into direct contact with a source of ignition, such as a flame. He faked it. He faked the whole thing. This was Bryson's Elvis Presley moment. He faked his own death. He's still out there living. He's still vibing. That was pretty convincing, I gotta say. The fire didn't look too real, but I mean, you got your friend convinced, but I'm on to you.
I'm so sorry, Bryson. I'm so sorry that I failed you.
Looks like he got the same treatment that their dad did. He couldn't afford an actual gravestone, so they just slapped a little piece of wood on the ground and called it a day. Bye-bye, Bryson. So Cameron's having a rough time. He's having flashbacks to that night. He can't sleep at night. He's drinking milk, of all things, which he never drinks.
You're drinking milk.
And?
You never drink milk.
I'm fine.
I don't think so.
Katie, I said I'm fine, okay? Just leave me alone.
Yeah, Katie, you should have known. You should have backed off. You saw him drinking milk? Back the fuck off. Get away. Sisters, am I right? So his Aunt Julie calls his mother and offers him a place to stay for the summer. You know, just to get out of his own hometown, you know? Get a change of scenery, you know, and just kind of refresh his own mind. So he ends up taking them up on that, and he goes to live at his aunt and uncle's place in their small little town.
I saw the population sign back there, and I was just wondering if that's a joke.
No. In fact, it needs to be updated, right? Because the Moores left last year and they had 8 kids. But the Carters came last month and they have 4 kids. And then, and you're here now. So it really should be 961.
So the next day, his uncle decides to take him on a little field trip of the town, give him a little taste of that spice of life. So he introduces him to Elise Thompson and Mr. Alan Doherty, who work for him at his investing company,
West Prairie Investors. Hey, you gonna be joining us for fireworks tonight?
No, sir.
Oh, come on, that's fucked up. That's not funny. I'm not laughing. It's not funny.
Well, we're gonna be back late, so why don't you make yourself at home?
Thanks.
Yes, let me just use my knife to get this spaghetti off my fork. So next we're introduced to his cousins Jaden and Justin, who are just getting back from their camping trip. And their interaction is not awkward in the slightest. It's completely normal. This is how people talk. This is how people interact. And if you don't, you're the weird one.
Hey, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been like, what, 2 years or something like that?
Too long, whenever it was. When'd you get here?
Thursday night.
Did Dad take you sightseeing yet?
Yes. Quite the small town you got here.
Spoken like a true city boy, huh, Jaden?
Spoken like a true city boy. Am I right? Spoken like a true city boy. Spoken like a true city.
Cameron, this is my fiance, Micah Stanton. Micah, this is Mr. Gallagher's nephew, Cameron Taylor.
I've been hearing quite a bit about you, Cameron. It's good to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, we were just in the middle of having a really intense hand-holding session. This is what we do because we can't we can't kiss. Hands are fine. You read that in the Bible. Like, your hands are fine, but anything else is a big no-no. So until we're married, this is it. So then Elise proceeds to ask him if he wants to join them for church on Sunday, to which he politely says no and walks away.
No, I'm good, but thank you.
And this doesn't sit well for Elise's fiance. He can tell something's up.
I wonder what's up with him.
Because no normal person would ever politely turn down a church invitation. That's just not something that you do. So as Cameron is taking pictures of weeds by the side of the road, Elise's younger brother just so happens to be walking down that same road. So they strike up a conversation, they go for a little mosey down the road, and Noah asks him if he wants to join him for coffee the next day. And let me tell you, while they're having coffee, it gets a little heated.
Cameron, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
What's that?
What exactly brought you to West Prairie?
I have family here, don't I?
Well, sure, but...
Then that's why I'm here. Thanks for the invite, Jonah, but I should get going.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, Jonah, maybe you should stay in your own lane. Thanks for the coffee, but you know what? Kindly fuck off. I will say, though, that is one killer sweater. I do like that sweater. I would wear that sweater. That's the only thing about this movie that I actually like so far is just his sweater. I want that sweater. So as Cameron is walking home, in the solemn state of mind that he's in, Mr. Alan Doherty drives by and sees him and offers him a ride home. Because that's a Christian thing to do. That's being a good Samaritan. And when he gets home, his uncle has a few things to say about Mr. Alan Doherty.
He is one of those religious fanatics.
You mean a Christian?
Whatever you want to call him. Always looking on the bright side and talking about an invisible God and that Jesus guy.
And you ended up with two of them as coworkers.
I don't know how that happened. But I tell you, Alan and Elise are two of the best people I've ever worked with. I just take everything with a grain of salt, you know. I appreciate their hard work, but I tell them to leave their religion alone with me.
I love this scene so much because it depicts the exact way that Christians think non-believers view them. Like, growing up very Christian, this is how we thought everybody who didn't believe what we believed thought of us. Oh yeah, they're so great. They're the best people ever. They're always looking on the bright side, but you know, they're kind of crazy. Like, they're a little weird. They believe in an invisible God. It's so weird, but I mean, they're great people. When in reality, nobody gives a fuck. And when Christians think that, they put themselves on this high horse where they immediately think everybody thinks that they're the best. Like, that they're super nice, that they're super loving. When in reality, a lot of times they're just really proud assholes. And this doesn't go for all of them. You can believe whatever you want. Just don't be a dick. Sorry, that was me getting on my soapbox there for a second. I don't want to get too serious with this. It's just funny to me because, like, seeing this now outside of that belief, it's ironic because it's true. Also, what's with the pictures on the wall? Like, they found actual nice photos to put up of every family member except the son, and they were like, oh, we got to put the son somewhere up on this wall too. So they had the actor just like take a Snapchat selfie and they just like put it up on the wall. So the next day, Cameron goes on a little picnic with Alan and the gang. They tell some jokes, they eat some food, they have a little fun. And then the day after, the cousin comes up to him and asks him if he wants to join a party, to which Cameron's pretty skeptical, and for obvious reasons.
Just what do you plan on doing at this party?
Just, what do you do at any party? Just talk to some people, eat.
And drink?
Wouldn't be a party otherwise.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Are you telling me there's gonna be alcohol at this party? Yeah. I'm sorry, but no. I was raised better than that.
You know, Cam, you're a real well-behaved kid, but you're kind of a mama's boy.
What a normal thing for your cousin to say to you. You're a well-behaved kid. Like, that might make sense if you're talking to like an actual child. Like, oh yeah, like, you're a well-behaved kid. But they're both the same age. They're both 16. Yeah, you know, you're a well-behaved kid, but kind of a mama's boy. You still have your mommy tuck you in at night? What do you still drink out of a little bottle? Mommy's milk? Does she make your bed? Take you to school? But not only is he getting peer pressured by his cousin Justin, but Jaden now too.
Hey.
Who spreads a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that way? I'm getting very upset with the way they're handling food in this movie. It's really bringing out my inner demons, making me mad.
I was just wondering if you wanted to come out to the woods with me.
Oh. I don't think so.
Why not? Are you chicken?
No.
Yeah, Cameron, what are you, chicken? What are you, little chicken boy? What do Bok Bok Bok? Can't even handle the woods. Scariest place on earth. Bok Bok.
You know what, Cam? I don't know if it has to do with you losing your best friend earlier this summer, but you're not as fun as you used to be.
Okay, that was just cold. That was downright wrong. You can make fun of him all you want. He's kind of weird, but like, you're gonna go after his dead friend? It's not the Christian thing to do. I'll say that much. And then we get the next scene, which is your typical Christian movie scene of the main character asking, how is there a loving God out there? How do you put so much faith in a God that you can't see and one that doesn't seem to ever be there, you know? As Cameron says, his best friend just died a month ago. How could a loving God let that happen? To which Alan Doherty responds with your typical faith-believing excuse.
God works all things out to the good for those who love him and those who are called according to his purposes. But we're not guaranteed to know the good this side of eternity. So you're saying
Bryson died because I didn't act when I had the one thing that could save his life in my hands. I turned and ran like the coward I am.
Exactly, there it is. There it is. It's that simple. You fucked up, made a mistake. That's what happened. God didn't take him away from you. You want to look to someone to blame. It's just, that's life. Shit happens. So Mr. Alan Doherty gives him a Bible and he starts reading it, and now we get this sweet little montage. What the fuck? I'm about to lose it. What is it with the food in this movie? Why did they have to fuck up every single piece of food in this movie? Look at that pizza right there. Just take a look at it. Why is every slice that thin? Slices of pizza should never be that thin. That's not right. That's not how God intended it, okay? I swear, if there's one more piece of food in this movie that's just butchered beyond repair, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna straight up just lose it. I'm gonna punch a wall. Get it, Cameron. You got a big one. It was just seaweed. Silly Willy. And then you have your typical main character get saved moment, which we're not gonna watch just because it's boring and there's no fun commentary to put over it, so we're gonna skip that part. But now Cameron is saved. He's on his way to heaven. Good on you, boy. Good on you. But now it's time for breakfast with the cousins. And any scene with the cousins is a banger scene.
Say, Cam, why don't you spend the day with us?
Doing what?
We have this really cool fort in the woods. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, if you can handle it, you pussy. Think you can walk through little trees? Or are you still a little bitch?
I don't know.
Come on, don't be a chicken. Bok, 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 bok.
Okay, that took it too far, bro. You took it too far. My boy Cameron ain't no chicken. He got God on his side now. So you better watch the fuck out.
I suppose I could.
That's the spirit.
Come on, let's go.
Don't.
Let's go.
I swear to God, don't. They just left all the food out on the table. For one, he just poured a cereal and then he just poured the milk in. I don't think he got to even eat a bite. All their bowls were still full, the box is still open, and the milk is still on the table. And they just left. I'm done. Sorry. I got a little carried away there. Let's get back to the movie. So they're going to their shed in the woods, and I want you to guess. What do you think that they do in that shed in the woods? If you guessed A, you were once again correct. They are making fireworks.
Fireworks.
What is it with this film and making fireworks? Listen, I didn't go to school. I was homeschooled. So maybe I was out of touch. Maybe I am out of touch. But in my experience, I have never known anyone to ever have the craving or the want to ever make a firework. And yet we have that in this movie twice. Twice! I'm so confused.
Hello? Hey, Dad. Just walking in the woods. Sure. I'll be right over. Sorry, guys, I gotta run.
Also, I just want to say, killer shirt, by the way, Justin. Justin's such a boss. He's definitely the cool kid in the group.
What's your problem, Cam?
They're not all that safe.
We'll be fine. It's not like they're gonna explode just like that.
And she is right. In reality, they wouldn't explode just like that. But right now, we're not living in reality. We are in the movie Second Chances.
Fine. Be that way. Just wait for me until I'm done. Here we go.
They're even using the same items. They're using those same clear bottles with the blue cap and the same red dynamite sticks. At this point, this movie is a comedy. I wonder what's gonna happen. I bet you she's not going to drop one, just like Bryson did at the beginning of this movie. And I bet you it's not going to explode just like it did at the beginning of this movie. Oops, I was wrong.
Jaden? Are you alright?
I think so.
Can you walk?
I think so.
Is it your arm? Jaden, get down!
Oh, so there is a flame. A flame did ignite it. Where did the flame come from? Only God knows. So I guess it does make sense. It is in line with reality if there is a flame. So Jaden runs for help, and it just so happens that Mr. Doherty's the first one she runs into. So he goes over, prays, and waits for the ambulance to come.
Not him too.
It's okay, Mr. Doherty. He's saved. He'll go to heaven now. You can let him die. It's okay. So he's safe in the hospital, and then his family arrives, and he tells them that he's a Christian now, to which they're all ecstatic over.
Cam! I just want to say thank you, Mom, for not giving up on me. I'm really sorry, for the way that I've been treating you.
It's okay, Cameron, you don't have to apologize. She's been kind of mean to you guys too. She makes you eat plain ramen noodles every night. You can be a little harsh to her. She kind of deserves it. So Cameron and Alan Doherty decide to go fishing because that's their favorite thing to do other than pray. And he finds out that Alan Doherty actually knows his mom. And he knew his dad as well before he was killed in the fire.
Almost our entire childhood, we lived right next door to each other. Then our senior year, your mom moved to the neighborhood. We both thought she was the prettiest freshman we'd ever seen. To make a really long story short, she liked your dad better than me.
Jinkies! And then months later.
We're about to take a trip to West Prairie.
No way. Cam, that's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everyone. But I should probably get going. They're about to leave.
Sounds good.
Alright, bye, Jonah.
Cam, are you coming, son?
Yeah, I'll be right there, Dad.
Who's laughing now, Cameron's biological father? Your friend's piping your wife. How's that make you feel? I know you can see me, because you are a Christian and you're up in heaven. So there you have it, fellas. Second chances. Not only was it a second chance for Cameron, but it was a second chance for Alan Doherty, because he finally got the girl. And that's what it means when the Bible says God works everything out for good. I mean, imagine, if Cameron's dad didn't brutally die in a fire, would Alan be piping his wife right now? I think not. That'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. If you would like to donate to my Patreon, the link is in the description below. Videos like these take a lot longer to make, actually, like having to watch an entire movie. So anything would be appreciated. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video when I find out how many licks it does actually take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Bye.